Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BSV TV. I'm your host Satoshi, and on this show we'll be defending the one and only, truly genuine Bitcoin. The Bitcoin that Satoshi Nakamoto designed in his white paper as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system for the world. Let's get the disclaimers out of the way. So all the statements that you hear on this show are opinion and must only ever be taken as opinion. They are never to be taken as any form of advice, family, financial, sexual or otherwise. And on that note, let's sit back, relax, have some fun and enjoy the show. Get paid for your content in Bitcoin and set your own fee on Streamanity.
Yeah, I'm not surprised I wasn't asked why I'm convinced Craig is Satoshi. I posted on Reddit. He signed in my presence using the private key from block number one, the very first mined Bitcoin block. On a computer that I'm convinced had not been tampered with, on software I'm convinced that had not been tampered with, a message of my choosing.
At Enchain, we've just funded a number of universities doing, so far, a test up to 1 gigabyte because it validates what we've already done independently. We've tested up to 380 gigabyte blocks. We've tested 1 million transactions a second and transaction sizes up to 20 megabytes. Super complex scripts. Basically ones that can run operating systems. That's all of global commerce times about 50. On top of that, we can have complex scripts. On top of that, we can scale each of those transactions 1,000 times, which effectively means about 1 billion transactions per second, which means we can then have all derivatives, all complex trades. That means high frequency trading. It means everything that happens globally.
Is the market that effectively BSV is going for, is that global e-commerce, which is currently valued at $29 trillion?
No, that's too small.
Buy and sell Bitcoin instantly at bsvgravity.com. And you can now book and pay for your winter holiday at skibsv.com. Alrighty people, welcome to Satoshi TV. It looks like we are live. Usual technical hiccups, just let me get there. Rock and roll, there we go. Right, quite a special day today as I feel like I'm back on form. I'm going to start a new series. This is going to be Series 7. Series 7, although I'm probably going to keep the corporate colours the same. I quite like the gold kind of like era, kind of dawn sort of look. So yeah, quite happy with everything there in that respect. So yeah, Series 7, and this is the reason why. Check this out. Oh my goodness me, look. So not only does Bitcoin have 56.5% of the transactions, that I think I saw that went up to 58 earlier. It's really starting to motor. But look at this. Look at this. Look at the data on the BTC chain. Look. Usually every single block is, pardon the pun, chock-a-block with transactions. Usually around sort of 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 megabytes. But look at this. They're struggling now to even fill the blocks. Look, there's half a megabyte. Look at this. Another block, look, 128 megabytes. Sorry, 128 kilobytes. Literally, the chain is starving. It's literally starving. And look at Bcrash. Look at this. Oh, they've got one 2.9 megabyte block, but there's only roughly like 3 megabyte. But I mean, look at it. The rest of it is all kilobytes. It's all kilobytes. Literally, these chains are starving. Let's just go to my profile quickly. I put out a funny tweet that a lot of people seem to have enjoyed. Here we go. I wonder how many likes I've got on this now. So 28 likes. So I've said here, I've never seen the KuCoin BTC or Bcrash BCH chains looking so skinny and so thin on data. They simply can't survive in this state. I'm going to try and remember to tag Elon Musk on these as much as I can. But I mean, look at this. I've put skeletons on their columns here because literally they are being starved of data. and data is the lifeblood of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a data management system. And there's just no data flowing through either of those chains because, Coolcoin has purposely restricted their chain, thinking they were going to destroy Bitcoin. Who knows? There might be some desperate, what do they call it? Last hurrah, to try and do something. But they've basically, for the time being, it looks like they've shot their load too soon. And when I say shot their load, what I mean is made their move too soon. A bit like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Twins. He always goes on about how, first rule in a crisis situation or whatever, you move too soon. But we knew that they were trying to destroy Bitcoin because obviously that, Blockstream's paymasters are, MasterCard and AXA have got suspiciously close links to the Federal Reserve, the Bilderberg Group and all that kind of stuff. So we know that they were trying to kill it. And to be honest with you, they when they made their move, it was pretty good. It was good timing, but the development on genuine Bitcoin has just been absolutely massive, absolutely massive. Whenever nChain have done their upgrades, they've hit them ahead of target. Whenever devs have been building stuff, they're ahead of schedule. I mean, the development on Bitcoin has been absolutely phenomenal, and that's really there. They've saved the chain. But also, I mean, talking about saving the chain, it's not just been them, it's been a joint effort on behalf of absolutely everybody. So I just want to show you this. And again, I was a bit hubris, a little bit excited earlier on when I saw this, but, kind of reality hits in and it's kind of like, this situation, it could have so easily been avoided. But it was manufactured by, Bcrash was manufactured by Roger Ver and Jihan, so ultimately they are entirely to blame for this, because they would have just simply destroyed Bitcoin. You cannot have an anonymous system because it's completely centralized. You need something to hold the developers to account, but Hathor was on this chain, keeping the profitability of the chain level pegging with that of BTC, so that miners had no incentive to mine the chain other than sheer stupid ideology. Literally sheer stupid ideology. And Hathor knew at some point there would come a time when the profitability Hathor could jump off the chain and the profitability would remain the same, which basically means the chain is now absolutely screwed. So look at this, it's only 0.4% more profitable to mine on Bcrash, and yet Antpool is stuck with 57.64% of the overall hash rate. So there's no incentive, there's no real incentive for anybody to mine Bcrash because it's just as profitable to mine BTC. So why should they put any more hash on it? They're literally gambling. Between the two, and we know in Bitcoin that obviously Bcrash is fundamentally worthless, but now they've got Antpool with 57.64% of the hash rate. They've got no reason to relinquish any of that hash rate because it's just as profitable to mine on Bcrash as it is on Coolcoin. So they're just like, well, we may as well just stay as we are. Nobody else has got any reasons for any more hash rate on there as well. But ultimately, the chain is dead. It is literally dead. I mean, there's been no accumulated growth comparatively. Obviously, I mean, you can see BTC, Coolcoin and Bitcoin absolutely streaking ahead. So comparatively, actually, it's been a minus growth. If you want to pitch them against each other. So literally, it's going nowhere. No data on chain. And 14.1% of the overall transactions, of which Noise.cash makes probably 90% of the transactions, and they've only got 14%. And the block size, again, just no data flowing through chain. And anyway, the data flowing through the chain again is all Noise.cash, 90% of it. There's literally nothing there. Literally nothing there. People are going to get absolutely wrecked by this. So even though I am kind of like, glad to see them gone, there's still that moment, like I said, that human moment where you think, look, this could have been avoided, but this is the crunch time that we've been warning about and preaching about. So yeah, although I'm sort of glad the point has finally come, it's still just like, look, you could have saved yourselves. People are going to get absolutely wrecked now in this one. And then for Corcoin as well. I mean, look, there is no coming back from this. There is no data flowing through that chain. It's purely got a speculative price. Let's have a quick look at the Joho's meme pool. Here we go. So this is BSV. So data comes in and gets cleared as we know. But this is BTC. Look. I mean, look, we're used to seeing, this absolutely chock-a-block with data, but you can see here on TX Street, when we get there, here we go. Wait for this to come up. Yeah. Have some of my coffee while I'm here. Beautiful. Yeah, thank you, TX Street. Whenever you're ready. Look at this. So, oh my goodness me, look. The Corcoin mempool size is only 1.5 megabyte. It's tiny. The median fee is $1.69. I mean, nobody's using it. In fact, people have actually stopped using it. Maybe either they saw the conference and realized just what an absolute farce it was, just unprofessionally done, just people talking absolute rubbish. Like, what can we do to promote this? Oh, just keep telling our story. What? So they can't build on it? No, you can't build on it. You can't do anything with it. Store of value. Well, how do you improve a store of value? Nothing. It doesn't do anything. It's got no utility. That's the whole point. There's no improvements to be made into store of value. Oh, how do you make a store of value more improved? Well, you just store more value in it. There's no value because it doesn't do anything. But it's just the intellectual capacity of these people to not understand it. So anyway, I forgot to play Adam Back's video earlier when we were watching this screen. So let's just play it just for lulz. Come on, Adam Back, tell us about spending Bitcoin and stuff. Here we go. Video shorts. Where is he? There we go. Have a listen to this.
So, fee estimation in some cases is quite bad. If you're paying a friend, you can probably afford to wait 4 hours and not pay a priority fee.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness. I mean, look, where's this low fee line? Can't even see it. And Ethereum, Ethereum can't scale. Won't scale because it can't scale. As Lex Friedman said, you're basically trying to fix an airliner while it's in mid-flight. Absolutely bonkers. I mean, the shenanigans in the space is just absolutely insane. But what have they done with all these low-fee transactions in BTC? Nobody wants to pay it. No one's using it. They're getting sick of it. So it's basically just traders setting the 24-hour trade volume at the moment. But I honestly think this is the beginning of the end. Kind of scary, really, when you think how much money people have got in it. I mean, let's have a quick look at the market cap now. Here we go. Coin crap. So market cap 678 billion. Trade volume 18 billion. So it's that 24-hour trade volume that's currently setting the price of 36. I mean, up 0.25% today. Ethereum 3.3, but scroll down the list of Solana 8.3, whatever. But all relatively low numbers. Bitcoin almost 4% now. Ooh, you know, in comparison to well, all these other coins apart from Solana. You know, it's probably one of the highest climbers today. Something is in the water. Like I can feel it today. So let's just go on to Bitfinex quickly and look at BSV BTC chart. Wait for this to come up. Yeah, when you're ready. There we go. Yeah, winning today. Winning today. What we over? What is it? What is it? Over 7 days. Look, up on 7 days as well. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of over the stage of like feeling hubris about this. You know, I mean, we're just gonna have to let it. We know what's gonna happen anyway, and it's just kind of like, well, you know, I don't know how many times we had to tell him. You know, it's fundamentally worthless. There's literally no value on that on the data that's on BTC at all. You know, it's pure stupidity. Pure stupidity is what it is. And unfortunately, they're gonna pay the price with their own wallets. You know, and their ego and everything else. It's going to be catastrophic for so many people. Whew, jeepers. But yeah, anyway. Let's just have a quick look, see if there's any more fun stuff going on. So check. What was this about? El Salvador, saying that they are going to start accepting or acknowledging Bitcoin as a currency, something like that. Where did we see it? Let's see what is going on. Catch some news. Oh, look at that! Just usually my feed should be full of Bitcoin stuff. Yeah, that's Ethereum or whatever. Yeah, Barstool Sports, Boris Johnson. Seriously, come on. Let's see some real. Oh, that's the Floyd Mayweather fight. Yeah, that's going to be quite good. Yeah, Glassnode. Yeah. All right, come on. I want to see some information here. Good grief. Here we go. Yeah, check this out. So this is one. Look. So the mayor. What's this? Flag. El Salvador. Look at that. He's quite young. You know, fair dues. Mayor of El Salvador at his age. But, you know, saying that they're going to acknowledge Bitcoin as a currency. Well, core coin in their case. So that's going to be a rude awakening when he finds out that it's an absolute load of crap and nobody can spend it. How can you call it a currency when you've got, as Adam Back just said, you know, if you're paying a friend, you can probably afford to wait 4 hours and not pay a priority fee. Yeah, right. Like, oh my God. Like, absolutely insane. But that's just people for you. So you're just going to have to deal with it, you know, when the shit hits the fan. It's going to be pretty bad. I'll just stay out of everybody's way and let them deal with it in their own way. Because that's literally all anybody can do for them, to be honest. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the gossip. See what is going down. Obviously, we've got the clock is ticking on the way down to CoinGeek Zurich. Let's see what this was like. An open letter to Lex Friedman. I've just been watching Tech Lead YouTube channel. Kind of interesting. He had a take on it. So it was just like, so we've got the competition of Bitcoin versus the shitcoins of BTC and BCH. Then you've got Ethereum versus Cardano, and then you've got XRP versus Doge. You know, basically everybody focused on their own little wars. But I mean, it's all pathetic, really. Shout out Keith Fellows in the house. Thank you for joining me. So let's have a look at this open letter to Lex Friedman. Dear Mr. Friedman, as a long-time listener of your podcast, going all the way back to episode 1, this is by Gavin Lucas, I've found immense value in the information you make available to the world. Some of the conversations you've had have taken my mind to places I never imagined possible, and I've learned much from your guests and you. However, the recent episode featuring Ethereum leader Vitalik Buterin was nothing short of shambolic in parts. He told you lies, he made false accusations, and gave a one-sided, long ago debunked account of BSV blockchain and Dr. Craig Wright. Initially, I was disappointed that you didn't challenge him on many of these falsehoods. However, having thought about it more, I realised that it wasn't an unwillingness to challenge him on your part, but a lack of ability to do so, given that you have to date never had a credible representative of the other side of the story, that being someone from the BSV camp to tell you why Mr. Buterin's assertions are false and where the gaps in his logic are. Let's begin with BSV. First, Mr. Buterin referred to BSV as cash grab. This is typical of fledgling developers who fear BSV and its capabilities. They wish to paint it as a scam because they know that when the world wakes up to instant transactions of 1/100th of a cent, unworkable blockchains like Ethereum with 20 transactions per second maximum, limits and gas fees that reach $1,500 per transaction during high demand periods will no longer attract capital investment or users. It is Ethereum that is the cash grab, Mr. Friedman, not BSV. You need only refer to Ethereum Foundation dumping $100 million worth of Ethereum tokens on retail investors at the all-time high in 2017 to confirm this. No way! Is that what they did? They dumped $100 million of it at its peak. Look at this. Vitalik Buterin, Ethereum Foundation, made $100 million by selling Ethereum at all-time high. Wow, I've got a good link here. I wonder what the date was on that. So yeah, according to a recent statement by Vitalik Buterin, he managed to convince the Ethereum Foundation to sell 70,000 Ethereum at the height of the 2017 parabolic run, resulting in $100 million liquidity. ETH is still the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap. However, its price today is nowhere near what it used to be 2 years ago. Volatility has taken a hit, and a breakout seems all less likely. So this must have been a while ago, I'm assuming. 1 year ago, because it's hit all-time highs since then. But yeah. Second, Mr. Buterin referred to BSV as 80% scam. There are two related points to make here. One, it is the unanimous view within BSV from developers to supporters of the vision that BSV has no value without real-world utility. This is not a coin that will gain value because of investment for peer-to-peer digital currency. Is not an investment at all, but a tool to be used to bring about a better world. Absolutely, well said. BSV will only gain value if it is used. This is a far cry from the digital gold get rich for doing nothing narrative promoted by BTC speculators, or the it's the next big thing whatever that's supposed to be this year narrative coming from Ethereum camp. The Ethereum camp. Second, which sounds more like a scam to you, cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, which are not in fact cryptocurrencies at all, that entice gullible investors into paying hundreds of dollars in fees to move digits around a distributed database in the hope of getting rich by selling something of no inherent value to another speculator, or an honest digital ledger designed to keep a record of global financial transactions and enable microtransactions that the poorest people in the world could pay without thinking twice. Good question. The next time you speak with him, ask Mr. Buterin specifically what the scam is in BSV. If he is so concerned about scams, why not call them out with the same veracity when they were built in their multitude upon Ethereum? Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Buterin misled you yet again when he called BSV a fork of Bitcoin. It is in fact BTC and BCH that are the forks of Bitcoin. If you'd like to confirm this for yourself, you can refer to the graph below that follows undeniably how the developers of these two Bitcoin imposters changed the protocol from the original design, thus forking it. Absolutely. Mr. Buterin does not mistakenly make these false statements. They are deliberate attempts to steer the narrative in a direction that is beneficial to him and his cohorts. He knows that Ethereum can never scale, but he hopes that those who are willing to pay $1,500 per transaction to gamble on tokens forged on Ethereum won't figure that out too soon. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Look at that. Unbelievable. That was May 19th. Good. Shocking. Next, let's turn our attention to Dr. Wright, the supposed boogeyman of crypto. I, for one, will admit that when I first entered the cryptocurrency space in 2016, or not cryptocurrency space, mate, I was of the belief that Dr. Wright had falsely claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto. The social media campaign, and it is indeed an organised campaign to convince newcomers such as yourself of this Is that immense? Pronounced that wrong? For yourself of this immense. I fell for it. But being an independent thinker who prides himself on my ability to draw my own conclusions, I decided to examine my assumptions and biases and reevaluate the evidence. This led me to change my mind. Let me ask you a series of questions in the spirit of Socratic method to pique your interest and bring you closer to the truth. Can you find me a single clip where or at any time Dr. Wright soliciting money from crypto speculators? You will not find one. Isn't that odd behaviour from a so-called scammer? In an industry awash with easy money, Dr. Wright seems uninterested in claiming any of it for the legions of retail speculators ready to part with it willingly. What makes you think it doesn't? That makes you think it doesn't. That makes you think, doesn't it? I can't read today. Number 2, why would a common man be so keen to take people to court and face the law? Dr. Ruja Ignitova of OneCoin, infamy, and the people involved with that BitConnect scattered to the wind when the law came knocking. Yet it is Dr. Wright's detractors who duck, dive, and make feeble excuses when he challenges them to face him in front of neutral judges in a court of law. Yes, Cobra, I'm thinking of you. Is Dr. Wright simply the world's greatest bluffer, escalating risk to insane levels for a cause that is ultimately lost from the outset? If so, why don't any of his accusers call his bluff? Exactly. 3. Has Satoshi Nakamoto not exposed Dr. Wright to date? All it would take is a simple gesture and a few seconds of his time to expose any imposter in front of the world and end this debate for good. Yet Satoshi remains silent. Believers in this mythical, anarchistic god king of Bitcoin will imagine that he is dead, that he is above exposing Dr. Wright, or that he has moved on, none of which have a shred of evidence to back them up, while ignoring the ever-growing piles of evidence that point to Dr. Wright as Satoshi Nakamoto. 4. Why is Dr. Wright so obsessed with Bitcoin to begin with? If he was indeed a grifter in it for the cash grab, why not just launch an altcoin? Good point. Even the smallest projects attract millions in speculator funds. Dr. Wright has proven himself capable of leading a functional and scalable blockchain project that works today and convincing plenty of people that he is legitimate. Why go to all the trouble of claiming he is Satoshi Nakamoto, incurring ridicule and abuse, and spending millions of dollars in legal fees when easier money is to be found in launching the latest hype coin? Absolutely, yeah. Common sense. Any clear thinker can see that Dr. Wright's actions align more with those of someone protecting his life's work, even at great personal cost, rather than a scammer attempting to have a crack at the money pinata. 5. Lastly, how is it possible for Dr. Wright to know so much about Bitcoin? Good question. In a way that no other person in this space comes close to. I invite you to watch this Theory of Bitcoin series with Ryan X. Charles to whet your appetite, followed by reading his book Satoshi's Vision for Real Education on what Bitcoin is. How did he know that Bitcoin scales on-chain, just as Satoshi said it did? And why do his views so closely resemble those of Satoshi's those Satoshi espoused? Why has he never wavered in those views despite years of being mocked for them, only to be proven right through BSV? To summarise, if you believe Vitalik Buterin, you're expected to simultaneously believe that. Bullet point here: this man who does not solicit money from anyone and goes to great expense to defend Bitcoin is in it for a cash grab. Second, that he just so happens to have unmatched understanding of Bitcoin and its capabilities. Next point, he has thus far managed to avoid being exposed by the real Satoshi by sheer luck and bluffing skills. Next point, he has convinced colleagues and family members to lie under oath that he showed them the white paper and spoke to them about Bitcoin before it was released. Next point, that he fooled the world's leading cryptographers, including lead developer of Bitcoin, who had personal conversations with Satoshi by faking private signings with Satoshi's keys. And last point, and that his allegedly erroneous ideas also just happened to make Bitcoin work at scale in the form of BSV. That's a heck of a number of coincidences and a lot of good fortune, isn't it, Mr. Friedman? Hopefully these questions are beginning to cause you to doubt the narrative you're being told by Mr. Buterin and others like him. Of course, the true story is that they fear BSV and Dr. Wright. They want a world where keys prove ownership and code is law, undermining the very foundations of Western civilization. Absolutely. They want you to count him out without listening to his arguments, because if the world becomes aware that Bitcoin transactions are instant and almost free, and almost fee-free, and that endless numbers of apps can be built on top of it, then Ethereum is dead in the water, as are most other blockchains. This is one of the reasons that none of them, most especially Mr. Buterin, will rise to the challenge of a one-on-one debate with anyone credible in BSV, least of all Dr. Wright. I'll end this with the words written in the final chapter of Satoshi's vision. So, quotes here: "What is interesting is that all these individuals and practically everyone opposing me seeks to create a system that allows illegal activities to occur with impunity. I'm seeking a system that works within the justice system and law. Which one seems more likely to be the fraud?" Absolutely. Mr. Friedman, doesn't all of this make you curious to find out the truth about BSV, Satoshi Nakamoto, and other matters related to scaling Bitcoin? As a fan of your podcast, I urge you in the name of accuracy and truth to speak with one of BSV's many capable thought leaders, and the next time someone like Vitalik Buterin lies to your face in front of your millions of listeners, you should be better equipped to pick on it and challenge him. Pick up on it and challenge him. Yeah. Very good. That was sincerely and with deepest of respect, Gavin Lucas. Good article, that. See, this is what I like about being in the BSV space. Rational thinkers, intellectual thinkers. You know, you can feel it oozing out of the writing. You know, they can put a sentence together, you know, extremely well and articulate what they mean. I love it. I love it. You know, proud to be in the BSV space. Absolutely. So what's this? Irish politicians calls for stronger digital currency regulations. Mt. Gox trustee invites creditors to vote on rehabilitation plan. Seriously. Google updates advertising policies for digital currency firms. Yeah. UK Minister digital currencies companies falling short of anti-money laundering obligations. Digital currencies not banned in India. Central Bank. Philippines mobile wallet. Gcash eyes digital currency integration. Actually, I wouldn't mind reading about that one just because there's a lot going on in the Philippines at the moment. California man sentenced to 2 years in jail over illegal 25 million BTC ATM operation. Sweden central bank partners with local bank for CBDC trial. Japan warns derivatives platforms Bybit over alleged illegal operations. US court rules against SEC in quest to access Ripple's legal advice. Ooh, alright. Let's see what this one is. Gcash. Steve Carrefour, that's just a couple of days ago. Philippines mobile wallet Gcash eyes digital currency integration. A popular mobile wallet in the Philippines is looking, a mobile wallet, mobile wallet for what, like other currencies or something? In the Philippines is looking to get a slice of the digital currency pie. Gcash, which serves over 40% of the population, 40% of the population, that's massive. Believes that in order to cement its position as a disruptor, it needs to integrate one of today's fastest rising technologies. Gcash is a product of Mint, formerly Global FinTech Innovators, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Global Telecom, one of Philippines' largest telecom companies. The mobile wallet currently serves over 40 million Filipinos, allowing them to make quick and affordable payments. Is that with their national bank or something, or retail banks? Don't know. In a recent interview, the company's CEO, Martha Sazon, revealed that the company has been considering digital currencies for some time now. All right. It intends to allow its users to easily buy, sell, and store their digital currencies via its platform. While we may be considered a disruptor now, it is important in the digital age that we should be mindful of all types of disruptors out there. It's important to know what the trends are, whether locally and globally, and crypto is part of that, Sanzon says. Gcash, if it eventually integrates digital currencies, will be in good company. Several other large mobile and web payment companies have dipped their toes in digital currencies as well. In the US, Square, PayPal, and now Venmo have all integrated digital currencies. Digital challenger banks like Revolt in the UK, and even stock trading platforms like Robinhood have also made it possible to seamlessly buy and sell digital currencies on their platforms. Sanzon stated, just like in any other introductions, you need a platform, a working business model, a partner, so as soon as these are satisfied, perhaps. In her interview with a local paper, the Philippine Star, Sanzon said the company now serves over 40 million Filipinos, a third of them go beyond simple payments and have subscribed to at least one financial product, ranging from G Invest, which allows them to invest for as low as 50 pesos, that's $1.05, to G Insure, which offers them affordable insurance coverage. Sanzon included, we will continue to innovate and provide relevant and accessible financial services for all. All right. Well, again, I mean, the space is marching forward. You know, it's nearly always positive news that we hear. You know, people using the technology, and eventually, you know, all roads lead to Bitcoin, which is BSV, all of them. So we know it's coming. I mean, we can see it in the figures now. I mean, what, 56% of the transaction volume, and over 80% of the 82% of the block size. Look at that, massive. And what's this? Taproot upgrade. Centralized protocol devs appear victorious. And more shenanigans. Actually, we'll have a quick look at that one. Actually, let's see what this says. So this was on the 2nd of June. John Southurst. Taproot upgrade. Centralized protocol devs appear victorious. BTC's Taproot update. Yeah, let's have a read of this then. Billed as the most significant upgrade to the protocol since SegWit. Classic. Activation in 2017 is set to gain minor support after all, surprise, the significant group of BTC miners who failed to signal readiness in a previous signal period appear to have changed their minds and joined the consensus. Yeah, surprise. A couple of weeks ago, during a previous Taproot activation signaling period, we noted that BTC miners appeared unenthusiastic about implementing the soft fork. We also described it as merely a stumble and suggested the change would eventually be approved, since there would be other signaling periods. Taproot is being activated via BTC speedy trial mechanism. It just sounds so scammy, doesn't it? Oh yeah, we're just going to have a quick voting system, but you've got to vote tomorrow. And all the people that we want to vote are already ready. Surprise. Which combines older mechanisms to implement changes to the BTC protocol to give miners 3 months worth of signaling periods to indicate 90% support, upon which the change is locked in. Should Taproot gain that support, which now appears likely, it will activate on the BTC network in November 2021. So that's later this year. It took a while to bring all miners on board, but if a BTC upgrade has a core protocol developer support, it proceeds on a keep trying until everybody says yes basis. Yeah. You can tell just how uncontroversial a BTC change proposed is by the appearance of slogans, hats bearing its name, and yes, there are Taproot hats available, so the change was inevitable. Oh my god. Oh my god. Literally, it's like lobbying people. Unbelievable. It's yet another example on the BTC network of the way a small cabal of centralized core protocol developers control the rules. Despite its image as a grassroots and geeky, even hockey movement of disparate groups to create a new kind of money that no one controls, BTC is far closer to being centrally planned. It's absolutely centrally planned. How would BSV handle this situation? Some might ask if Bitcoin and BSV faces a similar situation, its protocol team being a similarly small group of people. However, the answer is no. BSV's protocol rules are set in stone and actually cannot be changed, whether by developers or activist users. BSV follows the governance model of the original Bitcoin protocol, as outlined by Satoshi Nakamoto in 2008 white paper. And like the original protocol, there are no transaction size limits in the code. Miners or transaction processors set their own limits according to the type of transactions they wish to process and their own technical capabilities. There's no signaling or voting because there's nothing to vote on. That is why BSV is considered decentralized, meaning leaderless. Yeah, it just follows the 5 pillars of decentralization that make it a commodity. This is also why the BSV network is able to process thousands, in theory even millions of transactions of any size per second at 1/100th of a cent fee each, and validate contract nodes. It's up to the user to decide what parts of those contracts are processed on-chain and what parts aren't. BSV transaction processors have far more freedom to choose what they process and what they don't, without being coerced in supporting upgrades or risking being kicked off the network like what happens every few years on BTC. Given this and the lack of developers' ability to alter the rules, Bitcoin BSV is far more decentralized than BTC, despite loud cries to the contrary. Yeah, loud cries from shitcoiners. What if BTC miners oppose the change? Well, yeah. Reading the popular blockchain media, it's hard to find any arguments at all against Taproot. It's described as uncontroversial, yeah right, near unanimously supported by developers and the community, an improvement to efficiency and scaling, and boost for privacy by making complex contract code appear on the blockchain as ordinary transactions. Any resistance or concerns over Taproot have been kept behind closed doors. So even posters on Bitcoin Talk have been wondering why miners were slow to signal. At this point, the main reason was probably apathy. Upgrade whole data centers full of machines is always a pain, and miners don't always bother to upgrade and signal until they absolutely have to. Still, there were complaints that some miners were being lazy or stubborn, with the odd suggestion they might need to be nudged or even punished if they didn't signal soon. It's, the whole point of signaling, like choosing something, is just ridiculous. You're a miner. You just simply add hash rate to the network. There shouldn't be any of this crap. It's hilarious. In reality, Taproot's benefits from scaling are minor, just as implementing SegWit and changing the maximum transaction size from a 1 megabyte block to a theoretical 4 megabyte block weight didn't do much to fix BTC's chronically clogged mempool and high usage fees. Yet such arguments have been effective enough to gain the support of BTC hodlers who do little with their coins other than store them and hope the price rockets up again in the future. So effective, in fact, that the loudest BTC proponents actually celebrated the defeat of a Amiga block limit increase to 2 megabytes in late 2017 with the NO2X PR and hack campaign. Dear oh dear. Let that sink in. BTC went from years of nail-biting over whether it could scale or not to users celebrating the defeat of a change that would have actually increased its transaction capacity. It's impressive that BTC opinion leaders are able to sway grassroots opinions so effectively. If core developers and related companies like Blockstream and Square want the change, then suddenly it's popular. If they don't want the change, i.e. a block size increase, anyone who advocates for it becomes an enemy of Bitcoin to be silenced or cast out. This is what happened when a BTC protocol change, as controversial as the change in is rammed through and celebrated with a full-on propaganda campaign on discussion boards and social media. Miners are told that it doesn't matter if they support the change or not because users will force it with a USAF, user-activated soft fork. If you oppose the change, then tough luck because it's going through anyway, and your only real option is to hard fork and find a new ticker symbol for your chain. The BTC protocol developers do not think that they have any liability for their actions. Others will argue that the blockchain protocol developers are completely liable as fiduciaries, but that is for another piece. No, quite looking forward to that one. Bear in mind that one of BTC's main selling points and the reason for its tiny block size is decentralization. In theory, this means even small miners and non-mining nodes can participate and have a say, so long as your opinion matches those of people forming the BTC establishment, that is. Getting miner support. Zhe-Yuan Li, who posts on Bitcoin Talk, are generally more expressive and blunt than most. Wondered about miners' motives in the Taproot signaling period, saying, quotes here, are they going to just temporarily behave well or go back into dumbass mode when it seems opportunistically beneficial to them? Time will tell. And yeah, there are likely some miners who are not exactly committed to the core tenets of Bitcoin, even though they will talk the talk for a while and even walk the walk in order that might be able to wait for a better time to F around with their own dumbness, sucking up the PTB values that might be deeper within them. Hey, but Bitcoin was built for the ability to tolerate friends and foes from within, and surely the incentives may well beat up upon some of the ones who play around too much. We will see. We will see. The adversarial relationship between the community and miners who validate their transactions is symbolized in this meme from Bitcoin Meme Hub. Alright, so this is weekend summarized, except for I'm actually the dad and the son in this person. Are you whining, son? Dad, we're fighting against a bunch of miners who don't signal for Taproot yet. Yeah. Got it. In the end, BTC's centralized protocol developers will get their Taproot upgrade, and miners have very little say in the matter. They can accept it or leave the network, and since BTC's protocol isn't set in stone, it can always be changed again, right down to its fundamental workings by the few who control the protocol code, and whoever might be leaning on them. This is a shaky foundation on which to build a new world economy, and hints that BTC's freedom is never actually as free as the image its supporters project. Yeah, well, we all know their supporters are shitcoiners with shit for brains, basically. You know, they literally have no clue what's going on. Let's see if there are any editorials quickly. Yeah. What was the other one in tech? Interesting to hear about Taproot. Again, it's all like, they call it privacy, but they're confusing privacy with anonymity. Yeah, absolute crap. And let's have a look at some of our shitcoin magazines online. One of my favourite ones, Cointelegraph. Yearn Finance Miami developer talks new Vault products. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Green Bitcoin Impact, yeah. Grayscale BTC Premium stays negative. A hybrid smart contracts will replace legal system, blah, blah, blah. Rise of NFTs, boring. Why Bitcoin's next breakout may not be an altcoin season, whatever. Jack Dorsey Square, incorporated to invest $5 million in Blockstream Bitcoin mining facility. Seriously? Dear, oh dear. As if Blockstream haven't got enough money from their backers who basically print money off the Federal Reserve's printing press. Yeah, shocking. I saw a funny article, I think it was on BTX News. Let's see what they've got here. Study shows 33.6% of Nigerian adults are financially excluded. Digital financial services, blah, blah, blah. G7 chiefs to publish common rules and state-issued digital currencies. Tony Hawk purchased Bitcoin after 2012. Did he really? Lucky him. Good grief. Anonymous targets Elon Musk for destroying crypto holders' lives, trying to control Bitcoin. Yeah, whatever. Get over yourselves. What else we got here? Floyd Mayweather gets booed at Bitcoin event for saying another crypto will be just as big as BTC. Yeah, absolutely. El Salvador President Nayib Bukele plans to declare Bitcoin legal tender next week. Good grief. What else have we got? SHIB versus Doge. Oh my god. Anything else interesting here? But I think so. Well, I suppose when you know as much as we do, you know, just this stuff is it's just all bollocks. You know, all of it. Crypto Potato, they sometimes have some interesting stuff. Yeah, reporting in El Salvador again. Bitcoin slides below price, bollocks. Yeah. Elon Musk inspired a German Tesla taxi company to enable Dogecoin payments. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. You've got to laugh, really. You know, what else can he do? Dogecoin. Dog money. I mean, seriously? Yeah, let's have a look at CoinDesk. They've usually got some propaganda articles that are quite funny. El Salvador, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Musk's crypto tweets destroyed lives, anonymous says hacker. Yeah, we just saw that one. All shenanigans. I mean, we know where it's headed. We can see it in the figures, but I mean, these shitcoiners are literally, they're so deluded. Well, should I say deluded, ignorant? All these things, really. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Let's have a look. Any interesting new articles that just come out? Oh, that was a classic one. That was the Dogecoin streaker on stage. Brilliant. Mastercoin. Oh dear. MasterCard owned companies through Digital Currency Group, Grayscale Trust, Blockstream, Kraken, Blockchain, Ledger, Ripple, Lightning Network, Shapeshift, eToro, Coinbase. Yeah, good grief. Let's have a listen to my little video that I made that I've shortened of XRP. Have a listen to this.
The XRP is a digital asset. It's censorship resistant. It's publicly traded. It trades on the XRP ledger. Ripple does not own or control the XRP ledger in any way.
So how did Ripple then get all the XRP that it has? It has about half the supply. So just how did that particular transaction happen?
So the way its design works is when the ledger first began operation, the 100 billion XRP, all that will ever exist, were sort of up for grabs. And lots of people grabbed XRP out of that system, but it just so happens that obviously, just like early miners mined, huge amounts of Bitcoin before the public knew about it or was using it, early XRP users grabbed large amounts of that pool of XRP. And so the people who developed the ledger wound up with, the vast majority of it.
Oh god, honestly, it cracks me up when you hear shit like this. Oh, they grabbed it. Yeah, they grabbed it. We don't control it anyway. We were just simply able to grab it. Yeah, all right, mate. So yeah, I've been going 52 minutes. First show of Series 7, Lucky 7. Right, let's quickly do Ding a Dong. I can just see Keith Fellows in the chat box there, so we'll just ding a dong to him. Rock and roll. Anyone else who is listening, please put your handles and paymails in the chat box. Let's do this. Rock and roll. So we got BIG. There we go. Big blocks on the way to you. Swiping to send. Hey, got it. Great stuff. There we go. Right, so yeah, that's kind of like all I want to go through today. Again, going to go up on Streamanity first of all for a week, and then it's going to go on to YouTube. I think I forgot to mention the date today. So if anybody is listening, it is the 6th of June 2021, and it is Sunday, and we started like just after 5 o'clock. So alrighty, hope you enjoyed the show. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, joy given. Catch you guys later. Get paid for posting your pics on Relica. Download the app now at www.getrelica.com. Get your tweet etched on Twitch, forever on the Bitcoin blockchain. Do it today at www.jointwitch.com. Buy BSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online. Support independent content creators on micropayment platforms such as Streamanity, Twitch and Relica. We should profit from our data, not the large corporations who track, monitor and sell it. If you enjoy the Bitcoin content that I produce, please support me by heading over to www.satoshi.tv, where you can keep up to date with all the latest news, gossip and content as it's created. Thanks very much. To get started in Bitcoin, go to freebsv.com, where you can claim your free Bitcoin. Then head over to Twitter and follow @IamSatoshi, where you can take part in his very generous and world famous free giveaways. The future of advertising meets the power of Bitcoin at TonicPow. Get paid for posting advertising campaigns to your social media profiles. Go to www.tonicpowads.com.